Well, I thought I'd just pop on down here and have a bit of a chat to Ben. So Ben's a salesperson here at Scone Outdoors, and look, I'm probably one of their bigger domestic customers, and I walk through the door fairly frequently, and I reckon...
Yeah, it's not as much fun as he makes out.
Ben shakes his head going, what does this bastard want now? Because it'll be the most unusual part that he's never sold in his life, and here I am wanting 5 of them. But anyway, look, I just thought I'd come down and have a chat with him today and just sort of talk about, look, I'm a big believer in supporting small business. Like, look, don't get me wrong, well, there's nothing better than going down to the big green shed, having a walk around, getting a sausage sizzle and having a look around. But look, when it comes to buying yard equipment, mate, why should I be buying from a small business?
Well, I guess, as far as you're concerned, you're set up pretty well in Scone, being that we're here and we supply just about everything you need. And then you obviously get that backup service. So, today's Saturday morning, we're still here. Most guys have already been in this morning, got their stuff, and they're ready to go for the weekend. Or they're picking up stuff from that they've dropped off during the week so they can use it this weekend.
Yep.
So, obviously we back up. We've got 4 mechanics on deck here, and then obviously the other mechanics at our other stores and stuff like that, as well as the best part of 50 plus years of knowledge locally and how the area works locally and how the machines work in our area. So
that's a big thing, isn't it? Like, so you guys service what you sell.
Yeah.
And you've got a few stores.
Yes, 5 now. So where Scone's the base mainly. All the stock comes here and we work out from here. But basically we've got Peel Outdoors in Tamworth, Scone Outdoors in Scone, Brook Outdoors in Muswellbrook. What are we? Similar to Outdoors, which is probably our next biggest store. It's all family run stuff, and then we've just bought Thornton Mowers and Chainsaws, and that'll soon turn out to be Thornton Outdoors. Come once it's all finalised and ready to go. We've just taken that over in Newcastle. So
and what about the brands? So what do you guys actually sell? So you've got a few brands here. I've just had a little look around.
So there's not much we don't sell between the 5 stores. So some stores sell everything, some stores do certain brands, but pretty much if you want anything, obviously Toro's our main brand, but we do Walker, Rover, Cub Cadet, Husqvarna, Mazport, we can get Murray, all those sorts of guys, Victor, Briggs and Stratton,
and the Honda, I got
Honda obviously you bought yesterday, the 196, so we do all that stuff, and we're pretty big dealers for that, and having 5 stores allows us to buy big. When you've been out the back here, you sort of know what our stock's like. So, and we've got spare parts accounts and maintenance accounts for just about everything on the market. So there's not much we can't get a hold of.
Sweet.
We do a lot of aftermarket stuff, and then we've also got access to what you're doing is getting bigger these days, and guys are chasing real sharpers and stuff like that. So we've got access through Toro down at Heatherbrae, Newcastle, to be able to send some reels down and get it done and stuff like that. So
if someone, because the question I get a fair bit is, where do I get my Greensmaster 1000? But there's also flexes, there's different ranges, but you guys can source. So if someone's out there and they're looking to buy a second hand or used or even new, I guess, walk behind real mower like that Toro of mine, Ben's your man. He can hunt one down for you.
We can. We're pretty fortunate in that we're one of only 3 commercial dealers in New South Wales. Obviously Toro Golf is another section, but we do a lot of reels and stuff for a council, so cover a massive area. We've got access to a lot of stuff. So basically I've got access to anything that Toro's traded through Toro Direct. We've got access to that, obviously whatever we've traded, and all that stuff comes reconditioned. You've seen there's a 3250 Greensmaster sitting out the back at the moment. It just came up from Heatherbrae. It's had a full reel service. It's all ready to go. Customer from Sydney actually bought that machine. He's coming up to grab it. So
sweet. So you cover a large area. So
pretty much Lake Macquarie to the Queensland border is where we go. What I do anyway,
he doesn't do much. He tells you guys, but he doesn't do much.
There's a lot of driving involved, and the credit card gets a workout.
He knows every Macca's and every pub between here and Queensland.
I could definitely write a book on the top 100 truck stops in New South Wales. But Tristan, he's, for lack of a better term, he's our general manager. So he's obviously the owner's son, and he's been here for 12 years, 13 years.
And he ran a mile. He ran a mile just now.
Yeah,
we had him lined up for this.
I know where he is actually. I think he's ducked out. So
he's probably just out of shot laughing.
Doing a Saturday morning delivery all of a sudden.
A delivery?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So he drove out with a trailer. I don't know if it had anything on it, but he's definitely left. But
he saw the camera and he was gone.
Yeah, he wasn't happy. But he's been doing this for 12, 13 years, and there's probably not a better spares guy.
Yep. I can vouch for that.
Because we get a lot of guys, so we sell parts to the Northern Territory and WA and Sydney and all that. A lot of guys that will ring Tristan because people have said ring Tristan, and he's very, very good at what he does, and he knows the product like the back of his hand. And because we've been with Toro, especially for so long, we've been around long enough to know exactly what it is, and generally we can get it fixed over the phone. So Ken, our boss, and Tristan's dad, obviously he's the owner of the company, he's an ex-dairy farmer. You know, we come off the dairy myself, and Tristan's obviously off the farm, and the majority of the boys are either ex-farm or ex-turf or ex-mechanic, and know their way around the product enough to be able to problem solve. And I think that's where the Big Green Shed, for example, doesn't have that knowledge, that product knowledge.
That's right, you buy it off the shelf.
Yeah, so you can buy Toro in Bunnings, but it doesn't come filled up. It doesn't come set up or ready to go.
And you can't talk a deal.
No, you can't talk a deal, and Honda's the same, and you know, Bush Ranger and Ryobi and all that stuff. Yes, they make a good product. The problem is that, and we warranty all that stuff, and we do work on it, and the majority of the times we see it, it's because they've bought it down there, and whether they don't know or something's happened, but it comes up here and they've run it, it didn't have oil in it, or it didn't have, you know, the pull cord wasn't set up. Just wasn't set up. And that's where we spend, especially with our zero-turn deliveries and stuff like that, spend an hour, 2 hours with the customer, making sure that they're happy and that they can drive it and where all the maintenance is and all that sort of stuff. So that if they do ring us and they have a problem, we generally know, one, what their area looks like, and two, we can then talk them through it because we show them where everything is in the first place.
Well, that's a pretty good reason, I reckon. Look, I won't hold you up, but thank you very much.
Appreciate it, mate.
And I'll keep coming down here and hassling the hell out of you. And
anytime. And if you've got anyone that wants to hassle, if they want to leave a comment or whatever, and
get hold of Ben, shake him about because he's actually...
There's plenty to shake, so that's not a problem. But yeah, look, I hope you leave a comment, or if you get a hold of Brendan, he gets a hold of me, we might even chuck him a bit of a sling and help him out a lot with it. So that'll be fine, mate, and I'm happy for you to pass on my number and do whatever we can help with.
Well, Ben, appreciate that.
No, thank you, mate.
I'll be doing business again. So look, guys, support your local business, or support Ben and Scone Outdoors, the outdoor group, because look, they're approachable people.
We try to be,
and even put up with me, so that can't be too much of a bad thing.
Yeah, I've had worse. It's all right. So, no worry.
All right, mate.
Appreciate your time.
Take it easy.
Thanks, mate.